Thank you for watching Friday Night Football Talk. I am Fidel Barraza. Alongside with me, Jerry Martinez, Walter Stringer, and Kendall Whitley. And our guest tonight, Colts Talk. What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thank you for joining us.
No problem at all.
Hey,
Marcus, how you doing?
I'm good, man.
all right, Colts Talk. So we got a big game this weekend. Indianapolis Colts
Absolutely.
at the Indianapolis Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me get your thoughts on the game.
It's good. It can go two ways. But the way that the Colts been carrying their momentum right now, especially after a good win against the Houston Texans, I feel like we can definitely easily win this game. Easily. The Raiders defense has been kind of suspect. Their rankings is pretty bad, especially stopping the run. And their corners aren't really as good. I mean, they have a good safety in Jeff Heath. But I feel like with the momentum that Rivers is carrying, his consistency with not really turning the ball over, I feel like we can easily beat this team, and
What,
it's
what would you?
definitely for a playoff spot.
Yes. What would you say is the biggest difference from this year's Colts to last year's, besides the quarterback position?
Um, I would say the biggest difference will be the run game. Without the consistency of Marlon Mack being that true number one, you see us. We have to throw the football a little bit more than what we usually have to, because we're really a run football team. So not having Marlon Mack there is kind of lacking. You've got to go with the rookie and Jonathan Taylor. Then you have to go with Hines or Wilkins. So it's never really a consistent pace. So it forces Phillip Rivers to throw the football a little bit more than what he has to.
Yes, and then also this game, this Sunday. I mean, you guys are still in the division race, right, to win it. So I mean, you guys are only one game behind. So a lot of things are in state this weekend against the Raiders. So we'll see how the game turns out.
That's a
Jared,
fact, man. That's a fact.
Is the floor mine?
yes.
Yes. So, Stock, I wasn't here the first time we had you on, right? I think that was what 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? Maybe 2 weeks ago. But yeah, man, I had a couple of questions. I mean, being a Colts fan and talking just Colts football, right? I mean, the team overall is a fascinating team, regardless of what team you root for, man. I mean, I think that the Indianapolis Colts are a team that is doing it the right way, right? In other words, they have the owner, and the owner finally stepped aside and said, you know what? I'm going to turn this over to somebody that knows football, right? He turned it over to a general manager, Chris Ballard, right? And he's constructed a pretty good team so far. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you maybe about 3 questions, and in no particular order, right? But so real quick, if let's go back to that Titans game. If DeForest Buckner plays, do they win that game?
Not at all. Not at all. We were missing DeForest Buckner and Denico Autry, who are two big run stoppers. And you've seen the difference that they made the week after that. So I feel like if we had our full roster, besides the injuries and the COVID list, I feel like we would have put up a better fight. They had a better game plan, and we were lacking depth, so it was an easy win for them.
But if you had your starters, would the Colts beat the Titans?
Absolutely, absolutely, hands down, we could have swept them.
Wow. Wow.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hey, so also so obviously you could tell by my hat that I have on, right? Who the team that I side with right now. uh
Yes.
so the defensive coordinator, I don't know if you know this, but he's he's a cowboy. Uh so let me ask you I don't know how to I'll butcher his name if I say it. Can you say his name for me?
Matt Eberflus.
Eberflus. He was the
Yes.
Dallas Cowboys. I believe he was a linebacker coach for about seven. I don't. I think it was what 6 years, 7 years, right? And I think that he got a little upset because the 49ers asked him to be their defensive coordinator, and the Cowboys shut that down. Am I right on this story?
Not to be honest, I can't answer that.
Okay,
I
well,
wouldn't know
so
any Cowboys related.
this is the talk around town here of the Cowboys. So he got a little upset because he wanted to take on the 49ers job and the Cowboys denied it. So when they offered him a contract extension, he denied it, and then he was a free agent basically at this point. and he decided to go with the Colts now because the Colts picked him up. And while I'll say this, that defense is playing lights out. Can you imagine if the Cowboys would have given him the job? I mean, the what a story, right? That we would be having completely.
That
But the question is, his name is being talked around the league as far as being the next head coach in the actual NFL. If he leaves, do you guys still have a dominant defense to become a head
absolutely.
coach?
I feel
Who's
like
good?
we'll still. I feel like we'll still be a top five defense with or without the coordinator due to the leadership and the communication and the chemistry that we already have. You plug in the right pieces, and you get a coach that falls in line, and they can switch to any type of scheme. I feel like our defense would just be as good.
Well, I mean, look at that. Look at that though, because you guys look like you're more of a 4-3 defense than any kind of scheme. So I mean, I don't think you just. It's just like what the Cowboys are trying to do right now with Mike Nolan. You know, all this exotic. The personnel's not in place. It's not working. So I mean, let me throw out a name. Would you be okay with a name like this? How about the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Dan Quinn? Would you be happy if if Matt leaves to become a head coach? Would you be? Do you think Colts fans would embrace Dan Quinn being their new defensive coordinator?
I mean, they're gonna have to fall in line eventually. Whatever coach or whoever the Colts get, they're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to fight the fire anyway, fight the music. So, if we do get Dan Quinn, we switch it up. And to be honest, if we do switch our scheme, I think it'll probably help us more because us sticking to 4-3, I don't think anybody else noticed this, but we currently get dotted a lot across the middle of the field due to that 4-3 scheme. We lack corners and we use mostly linebackers against top targets. So if we're switching to a 3-4, what we do maybe switch and get more DBs on the field, I think some of those close games will be more of a blowout for us.
Oh man. Well, I mean, either way, the way you say it, I mean, if you can get the right personnel out there and you could scheme it up, I mean, I'm pretty sure these guys are all pros. They'll know what to do. Last question. Uh, I know that some of the chatter I heard around Colts fans last offseason was they really wanted that quarterback Jordan Love. Let me ask you, were you a part of that? Were you a part of that bandwagon?
Not at all. No, I wasn't.
Ah,
I wasn't
come
a
on,
Jordan Love.
man. Man, come
I
on.
wasn't a Jordan Love guy.
I think I don't know, Walter. If you can just, I mean, during that time, I don't think we had even I don't think we had talked about it. But did you ever see Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love's game?
Not at all.
Not at all,
Not at
at all,
all.
at
I
all.
think nah, not at all. I think Jordan has a nice arm, but in general, I just never saw the talent that everyone was. I think was trying to read into it simply for the fact that once Patrick really took off, everyone was kind of looking for the next Mahomes.
Yeah.
So they started comparing everybody to him. They did the same thing with Lance actually this season. So no, I personally I never saw it as all whatsoever.
Well, I just wanted to know, right? Because the thing was that at the very end, the Colts shocked everybody by trading that 13 pick for DeForest Buckner, and it turned out to be the right move. But the thing is that you got Philip Rivers, and Philip Rivers is gonna do Philip River things, right? So it's just one of those things. As a Colts, it's you dedicate your work to the Colts. I'm pretty sure one of the things is you ask yourself, what do you guys think the Colts are going to do next year about the quarterback position? You bring back, do you convince Rivers to come back for another year, or do you try to press to try to go after a veteran, or do you draft one? What do you think? What have you been hearing?
Well, to be honest, if we did have a decision, I think the best option, if Philip doesn't retire, is to bring him back. Due to everyone being comfortable with him in the system, and him starting to get under his wing as quarterback as the Colts, you know, bringing in a new quarterback would just start from scratch. To be honest, even if he's a veteran or a quarterback out of the draft, you're pretty much starting over with relationships, trying to figure out the scheme again, and getting used to the new quarterback to just start everything over. So, if I had my choice, I would bring back Rivers.
Yeah, because I think you guys still have the Eason, right? Jacob Eason. So
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, I didn't really see that he's. I don't think he's NFL ready right now. I think he does need some more reps under him. But when do you give him those reps, right? I think that you guys are too. I think you guys are too deep in right now. Too much to lose. You can't give him the reps that he needs to kind of see if he's the future. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought these are some questions I want to ask since you seem to cover the Colts and whatnot. But thank you
Yeah,
so much, Colts Talk. Appreciate it.
no problem.
You can go on, Walter.
Oh man. So,
Hey, what's going on,
in
man?
your opinion, game plan wise, moving forward, what do you think the Colts really need to do to lean on offensively so they can have sustained success come playoff time? And also, as part of a two-part question, when you look at that Colts team, what is your biggest concern with them?
All right, so what we definitely need to lean forward to is the production of our wide receivers. We have more than enough targets on the field, and we can switch them out. We have a total of maybe 10 targets that we can use sporadically throughout our offensive scheme. But the fact that we run the football a little too much, it may look like we don't have wide receivers at all. And the production that you've seen from Michael Pittman Jr., you see that he has a future number one potential in his game. You see T.Y. Hilton last week against the Texans that he always does. He does pretty good. He showed up. We got three tight ends that can go get the football. And you know, Phillip Rivers loves throwing the footballs to his tight ends. So
Oh
we can
yeah.
make that accountable. It's just the fact that we got to give them the football when they're open. I think we got to switch our scheme up because we run a little bit too much and it's not needed. So that's the case. And one of the problems that lack with the Colts, of course, is the 4-3 scheme, and we have lack of DBs. We have enough DBs on the roster, but the fact that we don't use them because of the scheme, we use our linebackers instead, it's going to get us torched. So that might become a problem, especially if we face the playoffs when somebody might be adjusted to that scheme already. Like the game when we played the Packers, Aaron Rodgers pretty much dissected that defense, and the bomb he threw down the field to MVS could have been the game
Right.
winner. So
So,
I feel like
game plan wise, let's say you matching up with the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think your best chance is to defend that team?
easily running the football. The Kansas City Chiefs team is good on offense, but if we all watched that first time they played the Raiders beat them by running the football. Now, of course, their tight end Darren Waller had a good touchdown, and they can get the ball in the air, but that was only when needed. In order to win the Super Bowl around this time of football is having a good defense and managing the running manage the running game on the field. So if you get a good amount of carries and average a good amount of yards running the football and have a good defense that can back you up and throw when you have to, that's an easy Super Bowl victory for your team. So I think if we run the football and we already got a good defense and throw when we have to and not force any turnovers, we can easily beat the Chiefs.
Are you guys confident that Philip, if it comes down to it on any given Saturday or Sunday in January, Philip, if he has to, can gun you guys to victory?
Oh.
Yeah, I got faith in Philip now. He's earned my faith. You know, at the beginning of the year, I was kind of on a Rivers rant because he wasn't looking like the Rivers that we're supposed to, because he was looking like the Rivers of his last year with the Chargers. But consistently over the last 4 weeks, Philip Rivers has improved and maybe thrown maybe one or two interceptions that wasn't his fault. They were tipped up in the air. But he's definitely improved. So I have my respect for Rivers, and I definitely trust him right now as a quarterback.
Good. What you think, Jerry?
How would Philip Rivers say it? Hot dang it, right? I mean, because he doesn't say bad words, right?
Yeah, he doesn't curse.
He doesn't curse, so I mean, I don't know, man. Philip Rivers is Philip Rivers. I mean, that guy is gonna air it out. He's gonna take some risk, and dang, man. I mean, I could see you guys getting to the playoffs, but do I trust Philip Rivers, man? I like the fiery competitor he is, man. But dang, man. I mean, he just needs to, just like you said, like lean a little bit more on that run. Let the run, make that pass when you need to make the pass. But you need to finish off with a great defense and a running game. And
Yep.
I mean, I think that I mean I know that at the beginning of the season, even preseason, well, a lot of us were really big on Jonathan Taylor, right? But for whatever reason, I guess he has a fumbling issue. He can't stay healthy. I don't know what it is, but I mean the other running backs you have they've stepped up, right? Hines and what's the other one's name?
Jordan Wilkins.
No, Wilkins. So I think that as long as you guys continue to do that, it just shows you, right? If your defense is strong, your offensive line is good. Doesn't matter what running backs behind you, you're gonna have success. So, Dang, Phillip Rivers. Kendo, what do you got?
Going once, going twice. All right, Colts. Hey, man, thank you for joining us on this Friday night to talk a little bit of football. Good luck to your Colts.
Yeah.
And we're in. I think this is gonna be a great game on Sunday. I got it for game of the week. But of course,
real quick, I actually picked the Colts to win.
you did.
I did. Walter, who do you have winning this game before we get off the air?
Colts. I got the Colts.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go, Colts talk.
That's what I like to hear.
All right, Colts talk. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Go Raiders. Come on, man. You already knew I couldn't get off the air without saying that.
At the end.
You're on. Come on, man. Hey, no, but this game, it's gonna be a really good game. The Raiders are familiar with the Rivers, so we'll see what happens, man. Hey, man, appreciate your time, and
yep.
Let's catch up soon.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you know where to find me.
All right, sir. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you Sunday.
Cheers.